Right now, as you watch this, your brain is running a filter, not a metaphor, not a self-help cliche, a real neurological filter. It is actively hiding information from you, bearing evidence that contradicts what you already believe, and serving you on a silver platter every single piece of information that confirms it. You think you're looking at reality. You're not. You're looking at a highlight reel your brain edited for you, cut to your preferences, scored to your fears, and delivered with the confidence of absolute truth. And here's what makes it terrifying. The smarter you are, the better you are at this. High IQ people aren't less susceptible to confirmation bias. Studies show they're more susceptible because they're better at constructing convincing arguments for what they already believe. You're not thinking, you're defending. And in the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how it's happening. Inside your brain, inside your relationships, inside your phone, and the one practice that can actually stop it. It was 1960. A British psychologist named Peter Wason ran what would become one of the most replicated experiments in cognitive science history. He showed participants three numbers, 2, 4, 6. He told them, there's a rule governing this sequence. Your job is to figure out what it is. Here's the catch. To test your hypothesis, you had to generate new sequences, and Wason would tell you whether they followed the rule or not. Most people immediately saw the pattern. Even numbers, ascending order. They tested 4, 8, 12, yes. 10, 20, 30, yes. 100, 200, 300, yes. Confident now, they announced the rule. Even numbers in ascending order. Wrong. The actual rule was far simpler. Any three numbers in ascending order. Odd numbers counted, non-multiples counted. Any upward sequence worked. But almost nobody tested sequences that could have disproved their hypothesis. Nobody tried 1, 2, 3. Nobody tried 5, 10, 15. They only looked for confirmation. And they found it. Every single time. This is confirmation bias in its purest form. We don't seek truth. We seek validation. We form a belief, then go hunting for evidence to prove it right, and unconsciously ignore, dismiss, or forget everything that points the other way. Now here's where it stops being abstract and starts being personal. When your brain encounters information that confirms a belief you already hold, it releases dopamine, the same chemical triggered by food, sex, and social approval. Confirmation literally feels good. It's a small neurological reward for being right. But when your brain encounters information that challenges your beliefs, it activates your amygdala, the threat detection center. The same system that fires when you hear a loud noise in the dark. The same system wired for survival. Which means disagreeing with your worldview doesn't just feel uncomfortable. It feels dangerous. Your nervous system registers a challenge to your beliefs the same way it registers a threat to your body. So when someone presents you with evidence that contradicts your politics, your self-image, your relationship, your diet, your career choices, your brain doesn't say, interesting, let me update my model. It says, threat, defend, attack, or retreat. Changing your mind isn't intellectual laziness. It's neurological self-defense. Understanding this doesn't make you immune, but it gives you the only thing that can help. Awareness that the filter exists. Okay, pause. I need you to stay with me here because this is the part most people skip. They nod along to the neuroscience, feel briefly enlightened, and then go right back to doing exactly what they were doing. Don't be that person, because what I'm about to show you is where confirmation bias stops being a psychology lecture and starts costing you real things, real relationships, real money, real years of your life. In your relationships, you've decided your partner is inconsiderate. So now every time they forget something, every thoughtless comment, every moment they don't notice, it goes in the file. Evidence confirmed. But the 20 times this week they made you coffee, checked on you, adjusted their plans for yours, filtered out, irrelevant, doesn't fit the story. We don't see our relationships clearly. We see the version of them we've already written. In your career, you've decided you're undervalued. So you collect every instance where you were overlooked, underpaid, ignored. You build a case, and you build it well. But the feedback that said you need to develop your leadership skills, dismissed. The project where you underdelivered, reframed. The promotion you didn't get because you genuinely weren't ready, someone else's fault. Confirmation bias doesn't just distort your perception of others, it protects you from growth. In your health, you Google a symptom, within 4 minutes, you've confirmed you have something serious. You feel it now. You know it. Because WebMD gave you 12 possibilities and your brain selected the one that matched your worst fear and locked in. And then there's your phone. Every social media platform, every single one, is architecturally designed to serve you content that confirms your existing beliefs. Not because it's true, not because it's good for you, because confirmation feels good. And good feelings keep you scrolling. The algorithm isn't trying to inform you. It's trying to addict you to your own bias. You are not browsing the internet. The internet is browsing you. So what do you actually do about this? There is one practice that is a more evidence-backed, more consistently effective, and more brutally underused than anything else in cognitive debiasing literature. It's called steel manning. You know what straw manning is? Taking the weakest possible version of an opposing argument so you can demolish it easily. That's what most online debate looks like. That's what most internal thinking looks like. Steel manning is the exact opposite. You take the strongest possible version of the view you disagree with. You make it as compelling as you possibly can. You engage with it seriously, not to win, but to understand. One question. That's the whole practice. What would have to be true for this opposing view to be correct? Ask that about your partner, about your boss, about the political position you find most repugnant, about the life path you didn't take. If you can't answer it seriously, if all you can produce is a dismissive non-answer, you're not thinking, you're confirming. The goal isn't to change your mind every time. The goal is to ensure that when you don't change your mind, it's because you've genuinely engaged with the alternative, not because your brain filtered it out before it got a fair hearing. Here's the truth about confirmation bias. You will never fully escape it. It's wired in. It runs below the level of conscious thought. But there is a massive difference between someone who knows the filter exists and actively works against it, and someone who doesn't. The person who doesn't, they move through life mistaking their assumptions for reality. They stay in careers and relationships and belief systems long past the point of evidence because the evidence never got through. The person who does, they're not smarter, they're not better, they're just harder to fool, especially by themselves. That's the only edge that matters. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not after you finish scrolling. Pick one belief you hold with absolute certainty. One. It can be about your work, your relationship, your politics, your self-image, anything. And ask yourself, what would have to be true for me to be wrong about this? Sit with that question. Don't rush it. Don't dismiss it. If this video made something click, share it with one person who needs to hear it, not to win an argument. Because if we're going to think clearly, we can't do it alone. I'll see you in the next one.